January 1959, 10 experienced hikers from the Ural Polytechnic Institute set off on a winter expedition. Only 9 would make it to the mountain. One student, Yuri Yudin, fell ill on the trail and had to turn back. That twist of fate saved his life. The remaining 9 pressed on toward Kolatsakal. The local indigenous name translates roughly to Mountain of the Dead. It lived up to that reputation, battering the team with punishing winds and temperatures plummeting to -30 degrees Celsius. When the group missed their scheduled return date by over a week, their families raised the alarm. A massive search and rescue operation mobilized, expecting to find a stranded but highly capable team. Each member of the team was a certified Grade 2 hiker, weeks away from receiving the highest level of mountaineering certification available in the USSR. They were trained specifically to navigate and survive the terrain that would ultimately claim them. Weeks into the search, the rescue party finally spotted a shape on the snowy slope. It was the expedition's tent, half buried in the snow and partially collapsed, but peering inside only deepened the mystery. The team's winter coats, their thick boots, and their survival gear were all neatly arranged inside, and the tent itself hadn't blown out from the storm. Investigators quickly realized the canvas had been violently slashed open from the inside. Outside those slash marks, a chaotic trail of footprints led away from the camp, straight down toward the dark forest. The prints showed the hikers were running for their lives, wearing only socks or completely barefoot in the freezing snow. What terrifying immediate threat could possibly force seasoned survivalists to destroy their only shelter and run naked into a deadly winter night? Following the tracks roughly 1.5 kilometers down the slope, the searchers arrived at a massive cedar tree. Beneath it lay the first 2 bodies, nearly naked and frozen solid. Beside them were the pathetic remnants of a small fire. Their hands were burned, and broken branches high up on the cedar trunk indicated they had frantically tried to climb the tree, perhaps to escape something or to look back at their camp. Between that tree and the ruined tent, searchers found 3 more bodies, including the expedition leader, Igor Dyatlov. The poses of these 3 were haunting. They weren't running away anymore. Their bodies were oriented facing up the slope, frozen in a desperate attempt to crawl back to their supplies. Medical examiners confirmed hypothermia killed all 5. Their positions on the slope revealed a sequence of blinding panic, followed by a desperate, failed struggle to crawl back to the only shelter they had left. The mystery might have ended there, but 4 hikers were still missing. It took 4 months for the spring thaw to melt enough snow, finally revealing their bodies buried deep in a rocky ravine. The autopsies of this final group shattered the hypothermia explanation. These hikers suffered massive internal trauma. They suffered crushed ribs and severe skull fractures, similar to a high-speed car crash, yet their outer skin was entirely intact. Then came the grisly anomalies. 2 bodies were found missing their eyes, and a third missing her tongue. To complicate matters further, investigators detected inexplicable trace amounts of radioactive contamination on their clothing. The investigation now faced a massive contradiction. The trauma of a high-speed collision and missing tissue and radioactive decay existed alongside the simple reality of 5 students who froze to death on a slope. The presence of radiation, combined with reports of glowing orange orbs in the sky that night, fueled intense speculation. Many suspected the group accidentally wandered into a botched Soviet military weapons test. Others looked to even stranger explanations. Some scientists proposed that wind patterns created maddening low-frequency sound waves, while local folklore inspired rumors of an attack by a territorial Yeti. But in 2021, Russian authorities reopened the case with a new approach. They stripped away the mythology and applied modern snow science and sophisticated computer modeling to the terrain. While tales of military cover-ups and supernatural monsters make for great stories, they overlook the most ruthless and unpredictable force, the mountain itself. The modern investigation concluded that a rare weather event known as a slab avalanche was the most likely culprit. Imagine the psychology of that moment. In the pitch black of a blizzard, a heavy block of ice fractures above them. The deafening crack convinces them the entire slope is collapsing, prompting them to slice open the tent and flee barefoot. This also explains the car crash-style injuries. In the dark, the last 4 hikers tumbled into that steep, rocky ravine where heavy snow quickly buried them, applying immense, crushing pressure to their chests and skulls. And what about the missing eyes and tongue? Biologists point out that the ravine acted as a funnel for spring meltwater. Submersion in that rushing water, combined with natural scavenging by small wildlife over 4 months, completely accounts for the missing soft tissue. Science finally offers a highly logical sequence for this tragedy. Yet, because there were no survivors to confirm the tale, a lingering shadow of doubt will always hang over Holitsyak. What do you think? Is the case finally closed, or is a darker truth still buried in the snow? Let us know in the comments.